There were three questions that I commonly got asked growing up. The first one was a very curious, slightly accusatory question, which was, hey, where'd you get your red hair and freckles? I don't know. They were here when I got here. Question number 2 and question number 3 were often coupled and linked together. And question number 2 was more optional. You could choose to ask that or not. Some people just leapfrog right to question number 3. Question number 2 is this. Do you mind if I ask you a personal question? All right. Okay, I know where this is going. Question number 3 was right after that, and I'm like, okay, are you ready for question number 3? Here we go. Question number 3 was this. What is wrong with you? Yeah, ouch. Ouch. What is wrong with me? Well, as a kid growing up, it was really hard to find the vocabulary and to really comprehend an answer that would satisfy to think, okay, well, what is really wrong with me? I've always been a small person. Yeah, thank you. Wasn't expecting that. That's great. And I've always had more or less major scoliosis. So for me, growing up and getting asked that question was always cutting, because I didn't really know how to respond, and I always felt bad being asked that question. But now as an adult, I can really have an appreciation for what I like to call the uniqueness of me. But it didn't happen overnight. In fact, it took a very long time to get to this place. You see, growing up, it felt like most of my life I was putting together, assembling a jigsaw puzzle. And you know when you have like the box and you're supposed to match up the image with all the pieces, I couldn't really figure that out. And I really had a sense of like being ill-equipped to assemble this together. And this wasn't just my own interpretation or assessment. This was something that was echoed and amplified by the people all around me. My brother, he was assembling his with great flourish and flair, and I had peers that were putting theirs together, and it looked like they were having fun. I wasn't having fun. It didn't feel good. It was laborious and arduous. And I tried as much as I could to find those connections. I couldn't make them fit. I didn't fit. I did not fit in. And that was a big theme throughout my entire life. The sense of not really feeling belonging or a place within the world. Some things kind of changed, though. When I was 12, I found something that kind of gave me a bit of a boost. I found punk rock music, or maybe punk rock found me. And that started, it was great, actually. It helped me find my voice. It helped me find a community as well. It helped me find my anger, and it helped me find my armor. And I could suit up to go out there, not to thrive, but merely to survive. And up until that point, I'd been feeling like I'd been emotionally malnourished. I was starving for a sense of fitting in, starving for a sense of belonging. Me and Marlon would have got along great. Because I broke bad, and I Walter Whited my way down a path that may not have been the best. Robert Frost would be like, no, you probably don't want to, okay, you're just going to go down. Good luck with that. Okay. So I started smoking, I started doing drugs, started to get tattoos, and I started drinking a lot. And I really liked drinking a lot. The first time I got drunk, it was like a warm welcome from an old friend. And it's true. Many friends are here tonight. Not me. And I really took to it because it felt good, and it was a respite. It was a bit of relief. It was a rescue from feeling bad all the time. And I felt like that was a good trade-off. I felt like that was okay to feel a momentary sense of relief, just to feel a little bit normal, just to feel a little bit of relief. And so my drinking escalated into my teens and then into my 20s, the roaring 20s, as I like to call them. And I encountered something pretty early on that really got in the way, and that was mental illness. And I was diagnosed with a cluster of anxiety disorders, all under this wonderful banner of major depression. Go figure. So I was given a whole variety of prescriptions of antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, which did nothing. It did not make a difference. So I kept on drinking. Oh, boy. And did I drink? Wow, I broke records. I got to near the end of my 20s. I was about 28 or so. Things got really bad. They got really messy. I was falling down. I was injuring myself. I was blacking out. I was even speaking, some people were saying, in almost like in tongues. It would get that bad. So the writing was on the wall. This was not going to end well. And so, after a night, a pretty bad night, the next morning, my best friend at the time called me and he said, "Ken, I think you have a problem." And this is my best friend who, like, our friendship was like fermented by our mutual love of suds. And this is him saying, "You got a problem." But instead of being defensive, I received it. And that act of compassion really started to make a difference in my life. I made a choice. Literally that night, I'm like, either I go to a punk rock gig or I go to an AA meeting. And that day, I quit drinking. Thank you. You see, up until that point, the drinking, the drugs, the tattoos, bad tattoos, all of that, they were problems, and they became even bigger problems that got exasperated. But they weren't the problem. They were just symptoms of the problem. And so this process of quitting drinking, stopping something so that I could let something much more positive in, really laid a foundation, a very fertile foundation to plant positive seeds. And what I found is that there was an excavation that took place, and I had to discover who I was, who did I want to be, and who could I be, to get rid of all of those labels. And I found something after taking small steps. I signed up for an improv/acting class, and that changed my life. Thank you. So what happened, learning improvisation, I don't know if anyone here has done any improv, but in improvisation, all right, yes, great, amazing. I clap focus to you, great. My offer, it's an improv exercise. But it allowed me to really connect with other people and put myself out there, and for the first time in my life, getting affirmation that this is actually good. And the rules of improvisation, the idea of yes-anding, really reset and recalibrate my compass. My default was to always say no in life, so I started saying yes in my improv scenes and in my life out there, and I started to see things were changing, and so many good things were coming from that. And now I get to teach adults how to play and how to reconnect with that sense. And I think back of all the tenacity and the resiliency that brought me to this moment, and I'm truly grateful and appreciative of the uniqueness of me. Thank you.